Lovely Laveau and fam are something else.
That's all we giving y'all today because we already know we get shut down. That is not one more
Lovely
time.
Laveau and fam are something else.
Yes, we are something else. That is all you gonna get because the people is coming for us. The YouTube sending all kinds of warnings. Hey, listen, look, there was a Puerto Rican band in 1978 that had that same sample, and we cannot have y'all playing that. So you know what? No more. All you gonna get
Lovely
is
Laveau and fam are something else.
that's it. That's it. We're not playing with y'all no more. We need all our coins. God dang it, going on. You know what I mean? 75 cents per.
Shit.
You know what I mean? Yeah, something. God dang it.
We give y'all a lot of good content. They try to take it from us.
You know what I mean? You got me over here looking like a retired gang member.
I can't do the signs because that's how they do. You just got to do this right here. Just got to do a bunch of this.
Yeah, we can be in ballet in the spring. They niggas will remember.
They'll be like
the West remembers.
Blue-haired heifer in the blue shirt.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna have a whole different color. I'm all grays and neutral colors while I'm out there. I'm gonna wear weird colors.
My hair gonna be blonde as hell.
Icicle orange.
Safety neon green. You can see
well,
exactly.
Green. Somebody got that too.
It's a green game.
Yeah, green game. Do your intro, man.
Welcome to Something Else. When we talk to everybody in the culture in pro wrestling about everything other than pro wrestling. I am IlFam79. You know what I'm saying? So if you see me out and about, if you need something to call me, fam is good. And anywhere that you see me, fam is good. And when you're talking about podcasting, fam is good. And my tag team partner.
I hate him. It's your girl, Lovely Laveau, coming to you once again. It's the Black Brew with the big blue hair. And today we have something real good for the soul from me personally. We have one member of the illustrious STP. We have one of the scariest men in pro wrestling because he really scared me for real when I first met him, but we okay now. We have Mr. O'Shea Edwards. Sir, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We are here and we are black and we are blessed and all that good stuff. You know how that go. Uh-oh.
So the good folks of the travel industry, right?
Yeah.
How many sides? Because you're not the smallest dude on earth. Today might be the first time I actually saw you smile, and I've seen you several times in real life.
Yeah.
The good folks of the travel industry, over the last, 24, 48 hours. What side of Brother O'Shea did they see? And how you doing, brother?
Man, I'm tired. But I tell you what, though, as much as I'm tired, like I feel blessed. And man, I feel like recharged, believe it or not. Like I know it's almost like an irony to say I'm tired, but I'm recharged, man. But my soul's full. I needed this weekend in the longest time, man. I was training for it and trying to present a side of myself that was just like for a whole other side of the world to see, and like for everything to kind of go the way it did, man. It felt really good. Like I said, it was good for the soul. It was good for the wrestling soul. The travel industry, however, they saw a side of me of, hey, my headphones are on, my hat is super low. Hey, yo, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Let me sleep. If I ain't bother nobody, hey, that's a good thing. Just alone. Like I said, I'm a large guy, so like when I travel, I automatically get like that look of like, oh hell, here he comes, and I kind of inadvertently like shoulder check people. I don't try to. It's just my shoulder. I'm wide, and you can only be when you this big, and the eye weighs that big. Well,
you got an electric slide through that joint.
I weighs through it, and I'm like, look, I ain't about to shuck and jive for none of y'all. So excuse me, real quick.
That's cute.
You about to catch these shoulders, But no, probably kind of comes with it. It's part of the grind. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love the travel because I've been like that since I was a little kid. So getting a chance to do what I love to do and then travel as far as I was able to go do it, man. That's something a lot of people can't say.
So recreationally, Um,
Yeah.
what is probably your favorite destination outside of
Japan. Japan.
Okay. What makes Japan great?
The sense of individual pride everybody has. It never exceeds the whole. Okay, so you have a block worth of streets. I mean, a block worth of stores in front of the street. Every shop owner is responsible for that section of like sidewalk, like in front of the store. And every night after, for the most part, once closing time, the last thing they do is they go out, they wash off their side of the sidewalk, and they push all the water and all the debris into the street because they're overnight. The street cleaners would come through, sweep it all off. So when everyone shows up in the morning, it's clean.
Oh, that's fine.
To be that guy who doesn't do doesn't do his part. Here's the thing: no one's gonna like yell at you. No one's gonna fine you. No one's gonna sit there and tell you what you can and can't do. But they know, and you know that they know, and you bring that type of like what they call like shame. It's like even do something so simple as like keep your part of the street clean so everybody's street is clean. Like, come on. So that there's a level of like self accountability, a level of self pride that I just loved. And man, the dedication they have to like perfect one thing is awesome. I mean, they'll go to work and do whatever, but there's one thing that they like to do, and they're going to spend, if they're not at work, they're doing that. And I love it. I absolutely love it. The last day I was there, like I ain't gonna lie, I cried because I didn't want to come home. I didn't want to come home. Like I wanted to just stay there. It was good. Like that was one of those like soul trips for me. Where I'm like, yo, this is like I felt alive. I didn't want to leave.
I think every person that I've ever talked to who's been to Japan probably has the exact same story. Like it's something about making you feel better about yourself because you see how dedicated they are to everything that they do. And then with you, you said that you're used to just traveling all the time. Were you like a military kid? What did you do with the traveling?
No, actually, when I was little, my parents split. They were like a high school sweethearts. They split. So my dad was going to Temple University out in Philly. I was born in New York, but we just packed up and she just went to Georgia. And of course, I'm little. I go with my mom, whatever. And every summer though, my dad would buy me a plane ticket, and I just fly to New York, and I'd see him. Back when you could like drop your kid off, and they could, when you could actually walk your kid to the terminal, he would be, your kid would be the first person on the plane, and your kid was the last person on the plane, last person off the plane, rather. I'm sorry. So me being in an airport was never an issue. I had a level of just self-awareness of where I was at, no matter where I was. Like, okay, cool, I know where I'm at, even if I don't know where I'm at. It wasn't until like I got until like 25 where I actually got to leave the country for a while, and I lived in Saudi Arabia for 18 months and just had a hell of a time doing that. And it was there that I got to really travel, like really, I put some miles on that passport, to kind of like go see everywhere else. Like I'm in England, Egypt, a lot of Middle Eastern countries. I went to Sydney for 2 weeks. I just wanted to go. I never knew when I'd have an opportunity to kind of like go see the world. So I was like, all right, single black man, let's go. Let's see it. Let's see what's going on. And I just always loved it. Wrestling really gets to scratch that itch, like in terms of traveling. Granted, it may not be all the places I want to go, but sometimes you got to see those less than stellar places so you can appreciate the ones that really mean a lot to you when you get there.
No, for sure. I have some more. I want to do Saudi Arabia. I want to do Dubai and Abu Dhabi, but that's because of Sex in the City. Don't ask why.
See Dubai.
Yeah, you probably get an old dude going on. You can get an old nigga to go ahead and fly you out there. You can get flued out. I'm just saying.
If I ever decided to use my powers for evil, it would be a very sick time in the world. I tend to use them for good.
You know what they say? It's like, what is it? You either you die the hero, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. So I mean, like,
I'm in my villain origin story right now, guys. I don't know if you picked up on it, but hey, at some point,
it is what it is.
That's why I got married early. I did not want to see. I took myself out of the game.
That's a self-aware man.
Absolutely,
coach.
Take it whole time.
Coach, I'm done. Yeah. That's 6 miles for me. I gotta go.
Yeah, whole time. So it's you mentioned sports.
Yeah.
I know you are East Coast guy. Where do your sports allegiances lie? Who are your squads? Because and you know it's a very like personal thing for guys. It's like, all right, look, this is my squad. Where do you plant your flags?
So okay, so I'm just getting into hockey. Just getting into hockey, moving to the Northeast. Y'all love it. I don't know what's going on, and I think because I have some innocent like ignorance about it, I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on, but this is great. So I became a low key Washington Capitals fan. I've been to several games. I'm like, this is a fun time. Like, this is a real fun time. I'm big into college football. Big into college football. I am a University of Georgia boy through and through. Go Dogs. Pro wise, I'm a Ravens fan. I remember when the Ravens just showed up for the first time, and like people like, oh, the Ravens, ugh. And I remember sitting there, I'm like, I kind of like it. I think I'll be a Ravens fan. Like, I will always root for the expansion team. Like, I know you boys are gonna suck. I know you guys are gonna suck. But like, you can't be mad at me if I just hang in there and then they start winning. Because I'm like, hey, I've been here since day one, guys. So what you want to do? You know,
we understand that being Cowboys fans, we understand exactly how that goes.
So sorry.
Listen,
Sorry.
When I started liking the Cowboys, this is gonna date me, and everybody's gonna call me super washed, but I mean the truth is the truth. I started liking the Cowboys in 1988, maybe 89.
Okay.
Really young kid. Danny White was quarterback.
Okay, that was before. That's before Aikman. Yeah, that's like
1-15 Cowboys.
Oh shit.
1-15 Cowboys. Now, luckily for me in this area, the one was the at the time Redskins. So I heard I had to hear it, but you stuck with them a couple more years. 3 years later,
Yankees, man, they were killing it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, there's a time where everybody wanted to, if you want to play football, you want to play football for Dallas Cowboys. Like, I get it. Like, I definitely get it. It's just it wasn't a team for me. But like Baltimore, I'm like, yeah, that's a team for me. Where they was like, no, we're big and we're nasty. You can say whatever you want to say about us. I don't care. We just win, and that's all that really matters. At the end of that, I'm like, that's me. Like, yo, I don't care how you do it. Just win.
So are you going to the games and singing and all that? You know what I mean?
The game could be too. I'm like, did we win? Yeah, I don't care. Did we win?
A W is a W.
Yeah, and then but I've been a real low key baseball fan. And I'm like, I watch the Yankees a lot. I have a few caps because I think the Yankees caps are pretty cool. But man, I love me some Atlanta Braves. Love the Atlanta Braves. Even when they break my heart. Oh, they just break my heart, man. But yo, watching Georgia win a Natty, and then watching Atlanta win a World Series, I was like, yo, man, I should have moved earlier if I knew this was gonna be like this.
We'll never know that, Joy.
Hey.
I didn't have a choice. You actually had a choice, fam. I was in a Cowboys onesie.
No, I've watched the Cowboys win several Super Bowls. I don't know what you're talking about. I've seen it. I was there. So we knew the joy early.
Yeah, I wasn't that far early. But I had a onesie. There's a picture of me, baby lovely, in a Dallas Cowboy onesie.
Nah, I didn't get it.
All from birth.
Now, mind you, you know where I live. I am right above the DMV as it's known. And my mother, while I was in middle school, I'd been a Cowboy fan for years at this point. We moved to a certain hood, shout out Pioneer City. And my mom did my whole room in Redskin stuff. It was Doug Williams posters and world champions.
Hey, I tell you what, though, speaking of the team formerly called the Redskins, yo, if they just would have left it the Washington football team,
the gear,
yo, that's such a giant like stick it to them. Like the Washington football team, I'm like, yo, I'm in. You could have got the same uniforms and just put WFT or Washington on the front, kept it real clean, real simple, keep the same colors,
numbers on the helmets.
Yep, exactly.
Well, it's the Commanders. Oh, that's so lame.
Sound like colonizers.
If I had the money to like get an expansion team, that's what I would call it. Just whatever city. I put a team in Toronto called the Toronto football team. Like you guys think? Nah, we are the the Toronto football. And then if we ever got a nickname, it'd be like that nickname of the Toronto football team. That's all it is. That's all it is.
Had to be the corniest decision they could have made. I was like, there were so many other choices.
Listen, I by birthright, I hate them, right? However, the jersey that they showed up with against us,
those were sick.
They were fired.
Now there was no burgundy.
I guess of the Commanders, I'm like, yo, then just give me a complete rebrand. Give me colors. Like you gave me like some white, black, olive drab. Like you call the Commanders, all right, didn't look like one. Yeah. I guess from color scheme, just I'm like, I still think Washington Redskins, which I know you like that's still what I think. I see the colors. I'm like, nah, man, just give me a whole new color scheme.
It's like they just put a bunch of names in a hat, and just like, all right.
Yeah. Hey, what comes up?
Yeah, exactly. I don't. That was probably that was a dumbass decision.
Yeah. So, but no, I love sports, man. I love competition. I love competition. Healthy competition. I can sit there all long, and I'm just like, oh, cool. And because I played, I like to I'll sit there and break stuff down to myself. Like I'm coach to myself. I'm like, oh man, you should have did that. Man, that's a zone block scheme, homie. Hey, left foot out, step foot, go up. Ladder. The whole time, my wife's like, "Why don't you just coach?" And I'm like, "Take it easy." Yeah.
I was about to say, I could actually see
you gotta sit still.
He looks like a coach, though, right?
Honestly, I've been approached. The amount of time it's going to take for me to do that, I'm like, I couldn't. If I'm going to do it, I have to give everything to it, and I don't want to do that because then I'm just stretched too thin. Honestly, I want to train. I want to train them. Like I want to train. I want to have if I'm gonna be in the sport of football, I want to have a specialty where it's like, yo, my son is 6'4", 300 pounds. And I need to be an offensive lineman. You said like, nope, find O'Shea. He'll train him. You know that I want like kids. I want like, hey man, you want to be nasty? This is how we be nasty in the O-line. Cool, let's go get it. I just want to start putting out like just animals, just animals. D1 animals. Get out of here.
So. Physically gifted, you can't teach, right? But aggression, you can't really teach either. It's so funny because and we've talked about it before. I have a 13-year-old, right? Okay. And I don't know if you can teach it, but there's a switch that I saw in my kid just recently where he wasn't, he was the kid, he could always play, he was a decent athlete, but there was a viciousness that just turned up recently, and I don't know how that developed. So when I said you can't teach it, I saw you kind of be resistant to that. How do you think you bring that out in the kid? Like, how do you get it?
So what it boils down to is, and I say this about wrestling, football is for everybody. It's also not for everybody. Okay. But with that said, even the few times that I did coach, I told, hey, we also want to put you, like, can you help our kids in the weight room? Not a problem. My biggest thing was I'm going to find your level of quit. I'm going to find your level of quit. Mentally or physically, I'm going to find one of them. And when I do, I'm going to exploit it because I want to see once I find that level of quit, hey man, how much is it worth to you? To be on this team, to be on this field, how much is it worth to you? Because if you're not willing to give everything that you are, and then some more to and not because for you, but to owe it to the next guy, I don't want you on this team. I don't need you on this team. I will gladly put on a field of 10 and take a flag every single time, knowing that the 10 kids I got on that field are animals and they're willing to die for one another. Football is the ultimate team sport where you can do everything right and you still don't get it. Yeah. You can play, you can be the most talented guy on the field, the strongest guy on the field, the fastest guy on the field, do your assignment, and still lose. And how do you bounce back from that? How do you react to that? Do you get mad at the quarterback who do a pick? Do you get mad at the wide receiver who dropped the ball? Do you get mad at the running back who fumbled? Do you get mad at the offensive line who missed a block? Or do you go, hey man, shake that shit off, on to the next one? Yeah. And we march. The level of aggressiveness in kids, however, is sometimes you got to come up to kids like, hey man, when are you going to be tired of getting your ass kicked?
That's key.
That was how I was taught. It's like, hey, when are you gonna get tired of getting your ass kicked? And not saying you're gonna win every single fight, because I've lost just as many as I've won. But eventually, everybody gets a point like, nah, man, nah. If I'm gonna lose, I'm at least lump you up.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. Once a kid realizes, hey, I'm really tired of sucking. I'm really tired of getting pushed around. He steps up. You find out who this kid's gonna be. Some kids have it, some kids don't, and that's okay. But maybe football ain't for you, because football's going to find out what type of dude you are real quick. Football has produced more basketball players than
Yeah, that's good.
has. A lot of cats who can't play football, homie, they go play basketball. Because football I don't care if you male, female, black, white, anything in between. You strap them pads on, hey, put your head on a swivel. Because if I'm on that field, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, that's one thing that I noticed just, in high school and college. You realize that football kind of shows you where you are on the totem pole of life.
Mhm.
And it's something that I kind of wish every facet of life had, where like we need to figure out where you are on the food chain a little bit, because it makes it a little bit easier to know how to handle things, how we need to handle you. And there would be a lot less, minnows trying to be sharks out here and then getting their asses chomped up.
Hey man, we need kickers.
Hey,
you need towel boys.
hey, but you know what it is? I tell, like, a lot of people go through life, and I'm like, man, some of y'all have never been punched in the mouth.
You
And
can
it
tell.
shows.
You can tell.
And I'm like, well, football's the same way. I'm like, hey, some of y'all never been cracked. Like, some of y'all never been able to, y'all never been like on the receiving end of a crackback block, and it shows.
Yeah.
So many times, well, not so many times, but there's a time where I remember QB threw an interception, and I don't see that free safety come running downhill, and I think I got this guy dead to rights, and I remember blinking, and I'm on the sideline, like, what happened? And like, nah, homie, you're done for the day. Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? It's like, nah, dude, you are out. You were not here.
Yeah, we can bring back some totem pole checking in real life.
Shit, I sat out for a week and came back like, hey, who did that? I'm confused.
Now, with the way that you speak about bringing something out of the kids, if you were coaching, I remember you guys going out to the West Coast with CT Fletcher. So was that kind of the same energy that you felt, like that pushing you to the limit, kind of like pulling something out of you that you may not have seen in yourself?
Oh yeah. It was the level, how much. And CT even said, he goes, I'm gonna find that quit.
Yeah.
He looked at, he goes, I'm gonna find that quit. I'm like, I hope you got a big enough shovel. He just looked, he goes, oh, it's like that. I'm like, yeah, it's like that. I didn't come all this way up here to embarrass myself. I'll live this building by the foundation if I got to. I guess I'm gonna die right here. I guess fine. No, that type of energy, man, I love, man. Like, some people would want to call that toxic. It ain't. It's not. People, there's a certain type of individual that thrives on that.
Yeah.
That thrives on that, just not, I won't say so much aggression, but that assertiveness of like, here's an obstacle that you've never seen before. Move it out of your way. Sometimes there's no talking. Sometimes there's no understanding. Sometimes you just got to put hands on something and you just got to move it out of your way. There's no better way to even illustrate that point than with like, wait, just go to a gym.
Yeah.
These people have an obstacle in their way and they are working to remove that obstacle. Like, keep the talking to a minimum. Hey man, I got nobody cares. I got to move this thing and I'm gonna move it. Being out there was like, it was a bucket list item that I never thought would ever happen. There's a lot of bucket list items that's been happening. I'm like, oh snap, this is going on. Okay, cool. So my life is awesome right now.
I love to hear that.
Yo, so you just mentioned your bucket list, right?
Yeah.
What are four things? What are four things that are on your bucket list? That you do see possible, or maybe not. But
Okay.
what are four things on your bucket list right now?
Well, since this is a wrestling podcast, it's not about wrestling. Let's keep the bucket list non-wrestling. Non-wrestling. Number one, to be a dad. I want to have like, don't get me wrong, I am a dad now. Like, I have a beautiful 9-year-old stepdaughter. I love the little girl. Like, but I want to be a dad of a son. I want to have a boy. Of course, I ain't got no control of that, but it's a bucket list.
Actually, the dudes do got the control of it somewhat.
Yeah,
We determine it.
If I had that much control, I'd be winning the lottery too. So it is. Number 2, I want to have my own business. Because it kind of leads into I want to break the. Well, let me back that up. That's kind of like 2A. The point 2 is I want to be a millionaire. I want to be the first millionaire in my family. Which own my own business. I'm trying to break that cycle. I want to be able to give my kids something. I actually want to establish generational wealth, starting with me. And I want my kids to, while they'll have to work, they never have to worry. It's like that's me. Like number 3, I want to build a house in the woods. House in the woods. I want to build a barn dominium, and I want to put in the woods. I want to know my neighbors, but I never see my neighbors. And number 4, man, I just want to be free. I want to be free. I want to be able. I'm almost to that point to where, like, if I want something, I just go get it. I don't look at price tags. I just like, no, I want that. Okay, let's go get that. While I call those bucket lists, like, man, those things are right within reach. Like, I'm right there. Like, I love wrestling. I love wrestling to pieces, but like, my life is so much bigger than wrestling. And I don't care if anybody knows my name. I don't care if they chant my name. Nah, man, as long as I come home and like my wife's taken care of, my kids are taken care of, we got money in the bank, my kids go to school for free now. So I'm like, I bet, we could do whatever. Because eventually wrestling's going to be over. That's fine. Like, I gave it a hell of a fun run, but like, okay, what do I do after? I'm not trying to be these guys that hang on to past glory. It's like, okay, once this chapter's done, cool. I just open a new book and I just write another one.
That's key. That's key. I think this might be our most motivational episode that we have ever had. Normally by 30 minutes, we are into some absolute nut shit, but we over here like, damn, I think I want to.
Yeah.
It be her.
Why you say for me for? Damn, I bring the funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
I bring the funny with the honey. But I'm just saying, this episode got me over here like, damn, I want to be somebody one day.
The whole time.
Hey, it's all there for us.
Yeah, absolutely. O'Shea got me ready to go to work tomorrow, beat my supervisor up.
His job.
I'm tired of you. I'm sorry. Anyway,
job is my job now.
I'm the supervisor.
Now I'm the captain now. That's crazy.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, I am the captain now. That's it.
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at me.
What's the wildest job that you've ever had? And when I say wildest, I mean not like strip club bouncer, but like if you told someone, people were like, "You did that?"
A lot of people don't know I used to be a firefighter. I was fired for 15 years. That job was what allowed me to go to Saudi Arabia for a year and a half. Because I actually left that job and got another firefighter. I call it a gig. It was a contract with the Department of Defense. And so I started with the Air Force, and that's what they paid me. They paid me way too much money for a 25-year-old kid at the time. They paid me way too. I'm like, oh, this all mine? You boys messed up today, boy. I tell you, this money right here, spent. Like, this money's gone. After that, when I first moved up to Baltimore, I got a job as it's almost pretty much like a sales job, but basically I was a contractor who, like, if you had a hole in your roof or one of your windows broke and your insurance company covered it, they would call us. And then I go up there, I had a truck and, all that stuff. And I would sit there and cut out, plyboard and all that stuff. And I would nail it. I go on your roof and like patch up roofs and all that good stuff. And, our biggest thing is like when people's house caught on fire, like, how somebody gets boarded up. That's a job somebody has to do, So what happens is your insurance company will call my company or several companies like us, and we go out there and we board up your whole house. We basically secure everything and all that good stuff. But what we were trying to do was we were trying to like get the work to rebuild your house because we don't want to. We just want to do with insurance company because cha-ching. It was a wild job because I was on some roofs I shouldn't have been on, but I hated that job. That job sucks so much. There's nothing worse than somebody's memories burning behind you. Like, hey, can I board up your house or can we I'm like, man, get the fuck out of my face, man. What is this? Job was not good. Oh, I hated that job. I hated that. But I had a lot of summer jobs. So my favorite one, I was a caddy. I was a golf caddy. All through high school. All the
Now,
way.
wait a minute.
I can't imagine. Well,
Were you? I'm assuming you were a big kid, like you were a big teenager.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
he was carrying the cart.
Right. Don't worry about it. I got it.
I got it. Don't worry about it.
Don't
It's
need
all
that.
right.
The funny thing is, like, my dad got me that job because he was a caddy. He still is. My dad's bigger than me. So this is one of like, and I think 2 years ago, actually a year ago, I'm sorry, for Father's Day, I was like, hey man, what are you doing Father's Day? Because I ain't doing nothing. I got to go to the golf course. I was like, I tell you what, man, how about I drive up? Either Friday or Saturday, and then how about on Sunday we go to the golf course and I walk 18 holes with you. I haven't done it in like 10 years. Like, I'll walk 18 holes. He's like, you want caddy with me? I'm like, if you let me, I'll caddy with you. I love that. And so days, like I said, at that point, I hadn't caddied in almost like 20 some odd years. And so like me and him, we just took 2 big old golf bags, put them on our shoulders, and we just walked 18 holes together. Like, and there was like a big fuss. So all these fathers and their sons were playing golf. And this is me and my dad. And he was just happy as all hell. I was like, I'm with my son. What's up? I made like $400 that day too. So I was like,
I bet.
I hear that.
So you just seem to be, just from our encounters and just hearing you talk, you seem to be what society labels as a full-fledged man's man. Like you just ooze all the masculinity that you can squeeze into a person. But when you actually sit down and talk to you, I said this on Twitter, you find out that O'Shea Edwards is a big ass goofball for real, right?
The biggest.
So is that something that people are really like shocked to find out about you once they kind of, break down that wall that you have?
Yeah, it is. Professional wrestling is what it is. Like, it's professional. So I always maintain a professional like demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
But I choose who I decide to like loosen up with and this, that, and the other. Like I had a lot of stuff going on in my life that, just wasn't really good. But because of it, I don't let it define me, because it's a choice. Either I can sit there and let all my past circumstances like drag me down, or I can kind of go, well,
yeah,
today's Wednesday, let's go get it, And that's kind of how I choose to live. Not to mention, like, if I'm wrestling, I am at my like peak happiness. So I'm like, you ain't about to tear, like, you can't, there's nothing you're going to do that's going to tear me down. I'm getting to wrestle today, man. Y'all can do whatever. Because if I don't want to be around you, I'll just walk away.
Yeah, well, yeah,
that's it. It's one thing I'm in control of. If I don't like my environment, just go. So I just walk off. It's so much.
Yeah, for sure. So like, what do you do? Like, are you into like comics? Are you into the Marvels? I would love to see O'Shea Edwards in cosplay. That's just my personal desire.
I've done it before.
Tell me, please.
So in Atlanta, every Labor Day weekend, you get Dragon Con. It fills up the Marriott, the Sheridan, and I think like the Wyndham, I believe. It's like 3 hotels like in a triangle, and they fill them up. And then they have humongous banquet halls, like huge. And it's all this cosplay. And the last time I went as Bane, not from the movie, but from the cartoon.
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
I had the full mask on. I had a tack vest. Then I went at the fire department. I stole what's called an IV drip kit. All the tubing and stuff. So we took the tubing. We took Mountain Dew and a syringe.
Oh, he made the venom.
Stop.
And then we had it running around like the back and all that. That didn't last very long, but it was cool for the first day I had it. And I had like black pants on with knee pads on and big paratrooper boots. And like we would just walk around. And my buddy actually came as he went as Black Captain America, which was fucking awesome. And they had like this big DC photo shoot. Like if you were a DC character, you went out to this big pavilion, they took this giant picture. Like somebody went as Jason Todd, but when Joker killed him.
Stop.
So everyone's in a circle, and you see Jason Todd just laying on the floor doing this. And one guy was the Joker, and he was like dancing around. He was like, look what I did. But yeah, it was all these Banes, but everyone was like the movie. I was the only like from the animated series, and people were like, that's hot. Like I had the full mask and everything. I'm big in MCU, big into it.
Are you all caught up?
Like, nigga, please.
Yeah. Oh, like I watched them all and then went back and watched them in chronological order.
Yeah.
Including with the shows. I was like, oh, this is so good. The level of nuance in some of these shows, man, I'm just like, yo, this is super good.
It's so good when you go back after you watch all the movies and then you watch them in chronological order and you start putting it together in a different way. Listen, you can't see my office because of this scrim, because I don't really want y'all to see how much of a nerd I am for real, because y'all gonna be talking about me and thinking y'all gonna beat my ass and you can't. But I can fight. I can fight for real.
I can fight too.
I'm taller than you, but in my office.
Oh, I could really fight. This oh my God. See, this
I love you.
The level of disrespect.
My back wall is nothing but wrestling. My right wall is all of my Comic-Con, all of my artwork. And then in front of me, fam saw it before we started recording, is the paintings that I paint are in front of me. So every cosplay that I've done, I have it on my wall. Like nice. I have a picture of the character. I have an Ivan Ooze that I have been working on for 5 years that I have not finished.
Ooze. That was the name I wasn't expecting to hear tonight. Okay.
I wanted to do a gender bend Ivan Ooze. I have like all the parts. I just can't put them together yet.
Let's go.
No, you know what? I'm not going to lie. She really creative with this stuff. When the second time I saw her in real life, she was dressed up as like naked Razor Ramon. You know what I'm saying?
I think so. I love gender bend cosplay.
Yeah.
Cool. I love both sides of it. I saw somebody come as a Storm and I was like, yeah. I want that. Like that's awesome. Like,
but wouldn't like the dude version of Storm kind of look like, you remember on Bill and Ted's where they came in and it was them dudes sitting at the front at the, ain't that what Storm was?
Stop talking to me.
I mean, yeah,
but I quit.
I love when people like gender bend like Cyclops and Wolverine. I saw a gender bend Gambit and I was like, what you doing later? What's up?
I have a Louisiana to work. I have a homegirl that did a gender bend Gambit and she almost got taken home.
Hey,
Mia, if you watch
baby. Did she say baby? Hey, baby.
She sounded like Rogue a little bit. She didn't have like, but she sounded like Rogue because she tried to do the accent, but she from Baltimore.
But I love couple cosplays when they flip them. I absolutely love it. But yeah, I'm a big nerd. When I was little, I got into anime. Like I'm not big into it now because I kind of go back to what I used to watch. But like, yeah, man, I remember like trying to race home from school just so I can catch it because it came on at 4:00 and the bus got there at 3:50. So I had to hustle home. Like I didn't want to miss a minute of it, you know. But no, the MCU, man, I'm getting to relive my childhood again. I'm getting to read all the comic books that I read are coming to life, and
that's
cool. You know, because I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. You know, my wife's like, you are just she goes, I love it when you nerd out for this stuff. I'm like, I can't help myself. Like, I don't know why. This is great. You know, it's because it's stories. I love stories. I love being invested in like good stories, regardless of like the medium. Like, you give me a good story, I'm in. Like, well, let's go.
So you did an episode of Black Rasslin, right?
Okay.
And it was STP versus Takeover. All that build was going on, and during the appearance, a great deal of that time, you had the headset on. You with these.
Yep. Yep.
What's in your rotation, and what are the best games of all time?
Oh boy! All right, best games of all time, top 5. No rhyme or reason for the orders just as they come to my head. It's easy to say Final Fantasy 7, but man, Final Fantasy 10, man, it's my game. I may pop that back in and play it again. Skyrim, can't. I'm currently playing right now NCAA Football 14, the last one.
On what?
PS3.
Huh?
Last one until I put on my laptop and then I can get the modded version.
Okay.
But I'm playing that right now. This is what No Mercy. WWE No Mercy. Absolutely. Man, hours on that game. And then Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past for Super Nintendo. Yep.
One of the greatest games ever made.
Ever. I love my games, man. I love to escape a little bit. I love to escape. It's not that I need to crush for, but man, when I'm going to turn my brain off and I just want to and my wife laughs at me. She goes, you know what? She's like, most people get mad. Oh, he does games. I'm like, I know where my husband is any day of the week. I know you give me a time, day, and a place. I mean, you give me a time of day and what day it is. I know exactly where he is and what he's doing. I'm a sucker for like consistency. I'm a sucker for a schedule. So it's like after if I'm not at work, I'm at the gym. If I'm not at the gym, I'm at home. And if I'm at home, I'm probably in front of a TV somewhere. And if I'm by myself, you know, or I'm next to my wife and whatever she wants to watch. You know, she wants to watch some cooking show. Is that my jam? Not really, but she's happy. That's all I care about. So let's watch some cooking shows. I'll fart off and my brain will go somewhere else in a little bit, but we're together. That's kind of what I want to do. But man, my dad got me into video games. My dad got me into a lot of my hobbies. My dad got me into so like video games and cars and sports and all that stuff. He really, you could tell I'm his son. Like you put us in a room together, he was like, yeah, that's your kid. You can't deny that. He was he actually, I think my first pay-per-view for Ring of Honor, he was in the crowd.
I remember that.
Yeah, he got to see me for that one. Then I got to bring him backstage and to see my dad mark out, that was cool. That was so cool.
Who did he bug out for?
He bugged out for Shane, Jay Lethal. He bugged out for Gresham. He really bugged out for Gresham. I was like, yo, my dad's a junkie.
Yeah, hey there, little buddy. How you doing? Anyway,
I didn't want to be the one. I'm so glad you did it because I was trying to be good.
So,
little pocket-sized pal.
Outstanding. So I will give you a warning. I did say I have a 13-year-old, and I don't know if there's not a competition for console time, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, I have less and less time to play video games, and somehow he has more and more. Like I am fairly sure right now he is upstairs
playing.
Yeah, absolutely on 2K or
responsibility is real.
Yeah.
You don't have that much responsibility, like you find time. You know what I'm saying? But when you have a lot of responsibilities, like, oh, I really want to do this, but I gotta handle this and I gotta handle. But you know, and I'm like that too. Like I said, I'm on vacation to the 18th of October. I ain't worth shit to nobody. Work calls me out, like, then I like, nope. You guys, I'm on the schedule. Don't call me for shit. But for me though, like, while yeah, it's real easy to kind of get caught up in like the nitty gritty and the grind of life. Like I've kind of said, like, no, man, I like to play video games. I'll play them by myself. I'll play them with the family. Like if you think I won't put on GoldenEye and just school this whole house, you can put on Mario Kart. I'm about to hurt somebody's feelings today. Like it's going down. You want to
get somebody to say that they like Crash Bandicoot. I don't know how we're going to make it hell. Like I can never get in on the video game combo because nobody wants to play Crash.
You know what? It's because I grew up with Mario Kart. I grew up with Mario Kart. When the Mario Kart first came out and all that stuff, I grew up with it. So I will always be like low-key loyal to Mario Kart. Just because for me, it's and I understand Crash Bandicoot is almost the same like system. I mean, the same like console and everything. But I'm like, man, there's something about seeing, you know, Bowser with that red shell.
Yeah.
There's something satisfying about
it.
You know, but I use video games like this is my time. This is what I want to do right now. You know, I went to work, I cooked dinner, everyone's satisfied, everyone's happy. You know, whatever chores we got to get done are done. It's like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Anybody watching TV? No, we're not watching TV. Hey, you mind if I just play a few games? Yeah, sure, go for it. Cool. Bang. And I'm right there. I make time for me. If you want the time to do stuff, you'll find the time. You'll find the time you want to do.
That's a fact. You just got to shape that schedule. I am still shaping my schedule. So you mentioned you were cooking dinner. If the missus called you like, hey, I heard Jill and Billy in town. You know what I'm saying? We're good friends. We're gonna drink tonight. Can you cook dinner, baby? You say sure. What are you cooking?
Well, first of all, I need to figure out for how many. Hey, can you cook dinner? How many? Are your people eating? Like, well, bring them over. That's my love language, is like acts of service. And one of my acts of service I'll do is cook. Like, I'll cook for you. It's how you know I fuck with you. It's if I cook for you or I buy you food. That's how you know I fuck with you. Especially if I let you in my house. You know, I let you in house to cook for you. Like, oh, he's my guy. So what? But usually, let's say I have dinner for 4. You know, me, wife, my little girl. Let's say one of her friends comes over. Boom, table for 4. I'm going to in my freezer right now. Actually, what we did tonight is I took some New York strips, let them get room temp, pink coarse sea salt, let it dissolve in both sides. Crushed black pepper, same thing. A little bit of paprika, garlic, salt, onion powder, a little bit of cumin. Put it in, let it kind of sit. Put my grill on high, let it get super hot, and then right before I do it, I turn it on medium. I just want the ambient temperature like up. I take olive oil. Olive oil. Put in a little measuring cup, and I just take my brush, pop, 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 both sides, bang, bang, bang. Then I go outside. It's 7 minutes on one side, 5 minutes on the other, medium, low heat. So it just kind of does whatever. Then I never put it on a plate, and I never put it like in a glass thing. I take a cutting board, and I take each of them off. I pull them inside and let them sit. Usually at that point in time, we're either going to do like asparagus or green beans. We may do, if I have a choice, I've already got my sweet potatoes already in the oven, you know. Cut them open, let people kind of do what they want to. I'm real simple with my sweet potatoes, little bit of brown sugar, just a little bit of butter, like a little creamy, and I'll just sit there and cut and just eat it right out of the thing. Make the drink, maybe beer. If not, if anything with steak, you can always go good with a good red. So I'll pop open a red, bada boom, bada bing, little seltzer water, because that's what I've been drinking on lately. And then there it is. That's dinner.
I don't know who describes their dinner better, him or D-Lo. I think
I love food. I love
Yeah.
food. I'm like, for me, with food, like, it's presentation. So like, we may help. Go sit down. And so what I do is I'll put, like, so I'm doing asparagus. I'll take like maybe 5 or 6 pieces of asparagus stalk. I put on the plate. I'll take your New York strip. I cut it in half so you can see that it's cooked well. And anything above medium rare, you're not welcome to my house no more.
You go get a hamburger.
Yeah, you get a hamburger. In my house, we do medium rare, but I cut it in half so you can see it. Open it up, nice and steamy. Usually, I put these sweet potatoes on another plate. Whatever. I take whatever juice and I kind of like drizzle it on. And I'm a sucker for plating. You put your eyes before you eat with your mouth.
That's true.
So look, my mom's birthday was the 18th.
Yeah.
Right. So we threw I appreciate that. We threw mom's a big party, but the next day, we came and hung out with mom. My mom is the type of folk that first we get in a restaurant, first thing she, all right, I get some food, but what's on the dessert?
Yeah.
Let me see what dessert. So her favorite thing is apple pie a la mode. So I say, yo, let me freak it. I'm gonna make apple pie egg rolls. I don't know if you can see this, right? When you said presentation,
yo, let me get a plate of that. Let me get a plate of that.
That was the point. It's like, get it right.
That's good. That looks really good.
Is that what you sent me that day?
I believe it could have,
I think it was because you were talking about it. I was like, man, but don't send me no food. Know my fat ass like to eat.
Them joints is, listen. I can cook, right? And I like cooking. Same thing. Like, I like cooking for my friends and that feedback. And yo, you killed it, blah, blah, blah. But I love
dessert.
That presentation, like to make it look
It looks
And
good.
they come in like, oh, you ain't playing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
People feel special when you go that extra mile. People feel
Yes.
special. Like, oh, yeah, do this. I know I didn't, but I wanted to. Eat. Please eat. You know,
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm about to give y'all some games for the listeners and the viewers right now, because you see, I'm not saying nothing when they talking about cooking. Now, a lot of times it's supposed to be us in the kitchen cooking. You talking about something to a woman's delight is a man who knows how to cook and understands presentation. Let me explain something to you. This is when it get a little graphic, guys. You find you a man that can cook and cares about the presentation. Let me tell you what else they're gonna care about.
Hey, both brothers in here got one of these.
Yeah.
Is
I'm just saying.
These. That's I got one of these.
I
But
ain't no spring chicken. I'm telling you what I know, children. You better listen.
when I met my wife, I told her, she's like, "You cook?" I'm like, "Honey, I didn't get this big by not learning how to cook. If I want to eat, if I want to maintain how big I am, I got to eat. I got to cook." And my mother was a baker, so like a lot of that stuff I picked up from her. Some other tricks I'm going to pick up from her, you know, because as she gets old, she's like, "I wouldn't want to pass this on," you know. So I'm like, "Mom, just teach me how to do it." You know, I'll do it. You know, my wife she'll cook, but she's not so much of a baker. So I'm like, okay, cool. Then when she cooks, then I can do the baking. You know, so yin and yang type deal. And I want to be able to have something like my mom and my grandma like they did for family. I want to be able like to pass that on. You know, I was like, "Oh, what do you guys do on Sundays?" "Oh, my dad cooks breakfast." You know, because we cook country breakfast for everybody. You know, so but like, but dessert wise, man, listen, you get me in front of a apple pie. And I don't mean with the not a Dutch with the crumbles. I mean with like the dough on the top, you know.
oh, just with the little slits in the top of it.
So yeah, there it is. You give me something like that, a German chocolate cake, a sweet potato pie, a good. Listen, you give me sweet potato pie. You need a plate. Just give me the fork and the pie. And just hey man, keep it moving.
Yo, there is a bakery in Baltimore that makes a sweet potato cheesecake that is insane.
We're gonna have to talk about that. You got to put the game on that one. Yeah, put me on game.
I got it's my people's. So I gotta find out again. But they had it at a party, man. Ooh, my gracious.
But then because you said cheesecake, you give me a solid strawberry cheesecake, you had nothing from me. But I tell you what, so my mother, she makes this dessert. It's a Jewish pastry called rugla. Okay, like Ruleagua, something like that. She takes she gets this dough, right? Real thin. She rolls it out real thin. It's like a little circle. Then she takes preserves. Pick a flavor, don't matter, right? And just she'll take like some type of nut, like usually it's like walnuts, whatever. She'll kind of crumble it up and just real fine, sprinkle it on there. And then she cuts them into like real fine, like slices. What she does is she actually takes from that pinnacle and she rolls them up, almost like little croissant like things, but they're straight. And they're maybe about like that big, whatever, but you get a lot of them. And then she'll put them on a little, pastry thing. She puts them in the oven. They come out nice golden brown. Then she takes some powdered sugar and just over it. Those things don't make it to the day. Like you just handfuls of. It's so good. Every time I come home, I'm like, "Mom." She's like, "Don't worry, I have some waiting for you." I'm like, "Thank you."
That's fire. Now you talking about your steak and stuff, and I'm a grab fam's normal question because you didn't do it and I was waiting on it. Now, after you've had your steak, after you've had your dessert, what's your laid back, kick back drink that you gonna sip on and coast through the rest of the evening?
Apple Crown and Coke.
Woo! He got to come to the parties.
Coke. If I can't do Apple Crown and Coke, I do Peach Crown and Ginger Ale. It's real, especially, and even if I don't do a dessert, I usually get one of those. I don't do dessert, but if I get a dessert, I kind of want something sweet, but I don't want that big sugar. I'm a quick drink, and I'll just sit there and just, once I'm done, and that's it. But it tastes so good. God, it tastes so good. My Crown's gonna kill me. I don't even care.
Speaking of which,
I got so many Crown rollbacks floating in my house. Is insane.
Listen, he keeps a purple bag on him at all times.
Yeah. Do you feel yours change?
You know what? I don't, because I never have changed. But second, I would have to pick a bag, and I have, when I say I have every color of Crown Royal bag over here, every flavor. My wife was talking about possibly doing a quilt with them.
Yeah.
So I don't purpose them purposely, because I would be walking around with a bunch of Crown Royal bags for everything.
I just like I had one in my truck. My wife took it, so now it's in her truck. So I have a little daily little car I take to go drive like 45 minutes to an hour to go to my shoot job. So I have another small one, and I just keep it in the car. So every time I need change, I just Crown Royal. Like, finally, Crown Royal is like, at any point in time, I have like $20 in change just in a damn Crown Royal bag. Because every time I break $1, I just put it in. Break $1, put it in. Break $1, put it in. And it adds up over a while. So eventually, I'll cash all this in. But right now, I'll just let it rock.
I tell you what, there's not a safer person to be around than somebody who has an ass load of Crown Royal bags at any given time. You are safe, okay?
Yeah, got everything.
Now, we do want to go ahead and move on to the portion of our show we like to call our 5 count. That is 5 random, silly, goofy questions that we like to ask our guests, so we can kind of pick your brain a little bit, get to know them on a different level, nothing too crazy.
I got you.
So the first question, and I think we kind of touched on it a little bit with you, outside of wrestling, what would have been your dream career?
Ooh. Honestly, if I wasn't wrestling, I kind of lived already. I was a firefighter. Man, it's the best job in the world. There's something greater about like being a part of something that's bigger than you. And there's something greater than like being in like such a cohesive unit with 5 other people, looking death in the face and kind of like, man, you say you can kiss my ass and then walk out with those same people. Like it builds like the only other type of job that comes close is the police department and the military, where you just have that type of unspoken bond of like, no, we went through shit together that most people cannot and nor will they ever understand. So like if I wasn't wrestling, I'd probably still be on a fire truck.
I can see that.
All right, this is a little bit fun. Please don't get in trouble. Who would you say is your, I'll say, off the beaten path celebrity crush?
Nia Long, man. Yo, here's the thing. Not even Friday. That whole series she did in like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Nia Long. Girl, Nia Long. Like it's one of those where like, hey man, shoot or shoot.
Hey, you remember when Martin walked up on her in Big Mama's house and she was I'm sorry.
My brother in Christ. What are you doing? Nia Long is creme de la creme.
That nigga mean.
Still.
Risk it all for Nia Long. Yo, risk it all.
You have that Bama up there cheating on. Ain't that crazy? Next question on 5 count. What is one unpopular opinion that is a hill you are willing to die on? You don't give a damn who agrees with it.
Cool. Wrestling is for everybody, but it ain't for everybody. Simple as that. Like, and it's kind of a twofold. It's wrestling is for everybody and wrestling isn't for everybody, only because just because somebody and not to mention, not all criticism is bullying.
Yeah.
If you suck at
talk about it.
It's not me being a bully. It's me telling you suck at your job, do better. If you can't handle it, then maybe it's not for you. Because when I suck, I get people telling me I suck. And I can either sit here and cry about it or I can get better. I chose to get better. It's like, oh, he's being a bully. No, he's not. You just suck. This is why you suck. This is why you suck. This is how you suck. And then let me show you how you can get better. Most people don't hit the third part. They only hit the first 2.
That's it right there. A lot of people stick on the criticism and never hear the help.
I am not here to suck your ass. If you ask me to watch a match, or just, hey, can you it's on whatever it is, I'm assuming you don't want me to tell you what's good because you know what's good. Because if it wasn't good, you wouldn't have done it. So I'm gonna tell you where you could have been better. What something that was lacking, this, that, and the other. You know, take it for what it's worth. But I'm coming from a place of love, because if I didn't love you, I wouldn't give two shits and I wouldn't do it.
That's key.
That's a gem, man. This is all right.
This the wholesome one. We thought Josiah was the wholesome one.
Yeah, no, this is the whole. Listen, brother, I feel like during the course of this conversation, we've developed a kinship, and this is going really well. Your Crown Royal drinking steak cooker. Brother, if you get this question wrong, I might be crushed. This is the only question that has a right or wrong answer.
Boy. Oh boy.
Apple or Android?
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Here's the thing. For the longest time, I was an Android guy. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. The only reason I had an Android is because of the notes, right? Because I'm a big guy and I wasn't a big fan of like small phones. So I always got the Note because it was big. And then on top of that, the camera was great. So last year, my Note finally kind of like bit it. And I was like, all right, it's time to get something new. And initially, I was going to get another Android, but the new Note wasn't out yet. And on top of that, they wanted way too much money.
They canceled the Note last year.
Yeah, they canceled the Note. Because if they didn't cancel the Note, I was going to get another one. But they canceled it. So I was like, I got to get a big boy phone. And if my thing is for Android, if it's not the Note, I don't want it. So the salesman at the time talked me into like the iPhone 13 Plus Pro Max, and I'm like, I really like it. Because of the amount of filming and the content that I'm always having to create, it's perfect. And I'm like, I tried so long to avoid it, and I'm like, fuck, I think I like this Apple iPhone now.
So we'll score
the funny part.
We'll score it down the middle. We'll do
No. This is his current device is an iPhone.
No, but I think it's fair to say that at heart he is an Android user. So
I'm a recent convert. Because it was more of what was available. Because the new Note was canceled, I had no other choice. Either I get a smaller Droid, which I was not going to do, or I just have to switch brands and get a big boy iPhone. I chose to get a big boy iPhone.
Yo, the funny part is I've had every single Note since the 2, right?
Yep.
So which is funny. However, my year for switching is I'm a every other year guy. So last year I was still riding with that last Note, that 20, right? Yep. I loved it. So when my Note went Tupac this year, I switched to the Fold, which is, listen, if you like a Note, go and get right. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. If you like a Note, that is the logical progression, and you can get the pen for it too.
The pen was a game changer. The amount of thing I did filming wise, the pen, I could bang. I mean, the pen was
man, you set the phone up and then hit the pen from a distance.
Yeah, the pen was slick. The pen was real slick, man. The thing was, the reason why I said with Android so long is because I knew for a fact that iPhone didn't have it, and then give them like 2 more years, and then they would finally use it. Oh, remember iPhone got big. I'm like, brother, I've been rocking a Note for the past 4 years. I've been at a big phone, whatever. But when I said, once the Note got canceled and I compared the two, it was like, nah, this is no brainer. Like I have to switch because after that, you guys don't have nothing else. So sorry.
I'm fair. So I will give you the Android point for O'Shea. I will not take that because I believe that he is an Android user at heart. So now you got your 3.
Yeah, no, at this point, O'Shea my cousin.
Okay. But I was gonna say that it's cool. So I'm fair. So we're gonna let that be what that is, okay? Now, the last question on the 5 count, my personal favorite. And now that I know that you are a nerd, I cannot wait for this answer. Okay. If you had one superpower, what would it be and how would you use it?
Oh boy. Okay. One of my favorite superheroes in MCU is Colossus. I love Colossus.
This is my cousin.
Y'all related.
And I would love to be living steel. Just any point in time, just pop, 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 and a walking tank. Like I I absolutely love it. How I would use it, I don't know. I'll probably be an asshole at first, but I'll be getting in the fights. But more than likely, because of who I am, I always like to serve a greater good than myself. So it'll always be one of them things. If any place I can walk into, knowing I'm like impervious to everything, I'm like, I got it. I just walk in, walk
Just
out.
walk over West Baltimore. Y'all chill out.
Yeah,
Please.
just do what I gotta do and then leave. It's whatever. But nah, people like you like. I love, especially Agent Apocalypse series. We had a band on. It was just like that dude. Colossus was always my dude.
Yeah, y'all might be related for real.
Yeah, whole time.
Oh.
Whole time.
Well, I would definitely say it was an absolute pleasure talking to you today about something else. Because I mean, how much more can you talk about wrestling than you already do?
I'm tired. I'm so happy for something else.
Exactly. So where can the people find you if they want to find you? What do you have coming up? Anything that you want to tell the people about O'Shea Edwards?
Sure. So socials. I'm more active on Twitter than anything else. It's at Big Bad Kaiju, Kaiju. I'm on Instagram. That giant yearbook. It's the same thing, Big Bad Kaiju, but a period after every word. And you can find me on Facebook. Just actually you can find me on TikTok. I haven't played with that in a minute. Big Bad Kaiju, and then you can find me on Facebook. But I tell people all the time, if I don't know you, we never talked, whatever, like I'm not gonna add you. So sorry. Merch wise, you can find me on whatamaneuver.net. But I do have some exclusive stuff coming that's just because I want to get the Germany trip out the way first. So I got some stuff coming that's going to be on. It's going to be exclusive to For You Wear. So
Shout out to Blue.
Yeah, shout out to Blue. So we talked a few weeks ago about some other stuff, and I told him I had some exclusives that I was going to build, and I told them that they would get my first exclusive. So the shirt that it's in the process of getting worked on and getting designed. I just talked to Blue and all them about everything. I'm like, let me get that situated because it's commissioned, so I kind of get it when I get it. But yeah, I was like, that shirt will be exclusive to you. And then anytime I feel like I want some other shirts to be just like exclusive, I'll make sure that they get that. But most of my stuff goes to What a Maneuver because I've been there for so long, and it costs a lot of money like to take all the designs and move them. So a lot of it's like I for financial reasons I got to stay over here. But I am always looking to like support other small business, trying to find other revenue streams to kind of like get my bread up. Because I feel like if I can get my bread up, then someone else can get their bread up too. And high tide raises all ships.
Ha ha ha. For year where we build in
Gonna get right. Gonna get right.
Hey, show that shirt real quick that you got on.
Oh, right here, cuz you know what I mean. This is this is in the blue color white. You know what I mean, with the blue on here. You know what I mean. You got some dreadlocks over here. You know what I mean? You got a big, you know what I mean? It's
on that side, baby.
Yeah, right over here is a beard, you know what I mean? Because it's a beard, and you know what I mean that we gonna get right, man. Going on for your wear, cuz you know what I mean, gonna get right, fool.
Oh, tell them who designed it, just in case somebody else wants some t-shirt designs real quick.
Hey man, this fool over here, man, she go crazy.
Good pray.
I'm building my resume, people. I make t-shirt designs, I do graphics, I help people with the highlight reels. I ain't helping y'all niggas with your wrestling careers no more because fuck y'all. But yeah, we doing everything else around here.
That's it.
Again, thank you so much. I'm gonna let him do what he does as we exit the premises here on this great, wonderful Black conversation.
Hey man, before we get out of here, if you want to follow me, I am IlFam79 on your social media choice, aka the Anderson of podcast, and aka Captain Brew Albano, Brew Diamond Phillips, Thicky the Dragon, Steamboat, Pod Champ, Pod God's favorite podcast, the Potty Pipe, I made a podcast, Chew Bubblegum, and my all out of dentine, Ice to See You on Love Daddy at WFAM, where family always matters, and my tag team partner.
Once again, it's your girl, Lovey Laveau, Black Brew Hop with the big blue hair that you can find everywhere. Once again, we do have the Something Else merchandise that my brethren over here is sporting. He looks so delicious in it. Thank you so much for wearing it. And as always, this is Something Else. Please go get right. Get those. Make sure you find us on Twitter at Something Else Pod without the G, because we are all the G you need. Peace.
Peace.
Oh, shit. Say it again. Say something else. Oh, say something else. Say something else, nigga.